Okay, let me make sure I understand what you need. You need help in understanding the meaning of slope and intercepts? Cool. What's your number? Got it. Let me write something up for you and I'm gonna call you back. Okay? First thing I think I would say, what is the meaning of slope? So, in so many words, not using the fancy mathematical terms, I would probably say it's how something changes. It can change real fast. Or slow. It can increase or decrease. So I may say that something's increasing 10 beats per second, or decreasing 10 beats per second, something like that, or 20 beats per second is how something changes, okay? The y-intercept is where it begins. Meaning that it's your starting point. So we can digest those two things. Let's do a problem. Okay, here's a problem. Jamie and John are friends and decided to start a savings account at the Algebra bank. Jamie opens a savings account by depositing $50. She decides to make a monthly deposit of $10 a month. John opens a savings account by depositing $10. He decides to make a monthly deposit of $25 a month. Remember, we were talking about multiple representations before? So that would be my verbal. Let's get down to the equation. Let's write an equation to represent the amount of money Y Jamie and John will have in their accounts after X months. So Y is the amount of money in the accounts. X is the number of months. Okay? Let's start with Jamie. What's going on with Jamie? Jamie starts out by opening an account with $50. Remember, y-intercept is where it all begins. Okay? So she starts out with $50. Okay? What happens after that? She decides to make a monthly deposit of $10 a month. That's how something is changing. And if she's making a deposit, it's going to increase. So she's actually increasing by $10 a month. So I'm going to put 10x. She starts out with 50 plus she increases by $10 a month. So my equation would be y is equal to 10x plus 50. Okay? Let's talk about John. And maybe I'll make a little smiley face for Jamie so you won't get that confused. Okay? Let's talk about John. John opens a savings account by depositing $10. So he started out with $10. And over here, I'm going to do something in another color. This is your y-intercept. This is the slope. Okay? So if John is starting out with $10, then his y-intercept is $10. Okay? What happens once he does that? He wants to make a monthly deposit of $25 a month. So $25 every month is what John is going to do. So his equation will be y is equal to 25x plus 10, with 25 being the slope. Okay? Now, we can represent these equations in a table as well. To do that, let's use the graphing calculator. If you have your graphing calculator, you know the first thing you want to do is turn it on. Okay? You want to go to the y equal, type in the first equation, 10x plus 50. Okay? Once you do that, we're going to hit second graph to display the table. Now, this is what the table looks like. Notice that for your table, for Jamie, her starting point is at 50. So before she deposits anything, for no amount of months, she has $50 in her account. So our first coordinate is 0, 50, okay? The second coordinate, 160, means that after her first month, she has $60 in her account. The third coordinate, after 2 months, she has $70 in her account. And after 4 months, she has $90 in her account. Okay, so looking at John's table is a little bit different. So you want to go back to the y equals screen and type in the equation for John, 25x plus 10. And then do second graph, which is the second table, in order to get your table on the screen. Here's what John's table looks like, okay? Initially, he starts out with $10, okay? So your coordinate or your order pair is 0, 10. After the first month, John has a total of $35 in his account. After the second month, he has a total of $60 in his account. After the third month, $85. And after the fourth month, $110. Okay? Now, this is what the table looks like for Jamie and John. Let's look at the graph for Jamie and John. Okay? If we are plotting the graph for Jamie and John, you want to choose, remember, at least 2 points to make a graph. So let's start with Jamie. I'm going to go back to her equation, which was 10x plus 50, and find 2 points. The points that I want to use, let's just do the first two. 0, 50. Okay. I'm plotting that point. Then let's plot the point 160, which is the amount after the first month. After we do that, connect your points so that you can see your graph or your line. Okay? Now, let's do the same thing for John. Remember, John's equation is 25x plus 10. Looking at his table, his first order pair was 0, 10. Let's plot that on the graph. So I'm starting at 0, going up to 10, place my point. Let's do the next order pair, which is after 1 month, he has a total of $35 in his account. So 135, and then let's connect those 2 points and make our line. Simple. Here's what you have. Okay? So let's take a look at the graphs. Let's say that you were only given the graph to start off with, and you had to determine the meaning of the slope and the y-intercept from the graph. What would you do? Firstly, let's look at Jamie's graph. What is the y-intercept for Jamie's graph? Can you circle that or put your pencil on it? That's right. Jamie's y-intercept is 50. Okay? She starts at 0, 50, which is $50 in her account initially. Okay? What about John's y-intercept? Can you find John's y-intercept? Good. $10, that's it. So the order pair is 0, 10. He starts out with $10 in his account. Now, if we're talking about the slope, who's changing faster? Is it Jamie? Is it John? And how can you tell? Let's take a look at the graph. Okay? The graph that is steeper or more slanted going up from left to right has the greater slope. Or you can take a look at the equation. We can see from the equation that John is increasing faster with his slope because he's depositing more money. So John's graph looks like it's above Jamie's graph eventually. It doesn't start out that way because he doesn't have as much money in his account. But eventually the slope increases faster than Jamie. So if you were ever asked a question, what does the slope mean in this particular situation? It's telling you how fast Jamie and John are depositing money within their accounts. Sounds good? Let me know if you have any more questions.